All right, we're gonna attempt the first ride. I got everything ready, things powered up. I got my heated jacket. It's kind of cold out today. I threw a cat eye on it real quick. Had to put a new battery in it, it was dead. Luckily I have one kicking around. Alright, so first impressions of the bike are, I don't know, I have a couple of things going on with it. First of all, I bought a really cheap shock. The bottom bracket's really high off the ground if you don't notice right now. Like, I tried to put a kickstand on the bike real quick and it was like 6 inches from touching the ground. Like, it wasn't even gonna hold it up any. So basically, I have the top shock bracket down in the lowest spot, and I would normally use this hole right here for a 190 shock. So I got a 200 shock, so I'm using the middle hole. It doesn't even fit in the top hole anyway. Most shocks aren't going to fit because it hits this top round tube in here, which is part of the upper swing arm. So I'm having that issue where I think I need to lower it down, which I'd have to bring this mount up here forward because there's no other way to do it, or change the shock. I've already raised the seat post a couple of times because the shock geometry is off. I think the whole bike geometry is off, because I still need to raise the seat post even more because my legs are so long that I can't really pedal comfortably. And another thing I'm noticing right now is that my forks are like compressing down all the time. This thing's not heavy. I just put it in the back of my, this thing is pretty heavy. I just put it in the back of my truck, and it's no Vector Light. It's got a 60 volt 21 amp hour battery in here and a small hub motor. It's only a 135 millimeter hub, 48 volt 1000 watt controller. But the thing's not light. But I think there's a little geometry issue going on. So if I lower the bottom bracket down, it would lower the seat down, which would make the handlebars slightly taller. Because I feel like if I kept the rear end as is and just put a handlebar riser on it, then I still have all this weight on my front fork, and my front fork is just like pressing down the whole entire time. There's no travel left. So I'm only, I think I've only went 3 miles. And I've already noticed quite a few things like that. Obviously this is just a pogo shock, so when you're pedaling with the bike it just kind of bounces. The rear brakes are great, it locks right up. Thing seems to ride pretty nice. I just need to work out my my geometry. It just seems right. Like, I just need to move that bracket up, which means I need to take the entire thing apart again. It's not going to be fun, but it's not really comfortable to ride like this. I mean, I could drop the seat down and just sit there and use all battery, but if I try to put the seat up so I can comfortably pedal, the handlebars are just too low, and if you're going downhill it's even worse. So I mean, all in all, it's a cheap, really cheap bike. The front fork is the most expensive part at 500 bucks. Frame was $390, motor kit, controller, and throttle was $150. Battery pack is like real cheap, like 125 bucks. So I mean, it's, you know, not even that much money, 1,300 bucks or something. I can't add on the fly. But that's about it. I'm gonna try to ride this thing. Had hopes to get out here and just burn the entire battery pack, but I don't know if I'm gonna last because it's just not comfortable to ride it yet. I gotta work out the kinks. And I'm missing my headphones, so I gotta get a pair of those. Let's go to the store. Another thing I notice is that when I'm grabbing my camera and I try to press record, I'm 6'3", and I can't even get up on my seat because my seat's too high. But once I get up on the seat, it's not high enough. That's a telltale sign that it's that the shock's not, you know, in the right spot. I gotta fix it. So it's like I'm one-handed with the camera and I'm trying to get a video of it, but I can't even get my butt up on the seat. Yeah, it's tough. Thing goes good though. It's really quiet. Ride's good. Gets up to about, I think, 30 with this battery and this controller. Without going 30, it's pretty damn cold today. Rear brake is just like vicious right now. It stops you on a dime. It'll skid the tire. About 7 miles into the ride, I went out into the middle of nowhere, and my phone doesn't even have service to stream music, and it's freezing cold. So I'm gonna play what I got on my iPod and move on with life. It doesn't go over 30 miles an hour. It goes about 27 uphill, small hills, and 29 to 30 on flats and downhill. So far it's holding out. Acceleration's a little slow considering, I mean, this system's really only a 20 amp system, so it's pretty good. It pulls you right off the line, and then it kind of runs out of steam and then gets going up to about 28, 29. Which is slightly boring for me, but it's a great commuter bike and it has plenty of power to go where you have to go. But since I'm used to, 80 amps now, this thing's a little anemic, but still very fun to ride. I just really can't wait to change the geometry. I can't stress it enough. I need to either put a smaller shock on and keep it the way it is, or change the bolt patterns around on the shock mounts and change the shock. Because I mean, I haven't even cut this this headset, this fork stem here, so it's as long as it gets from the factory. It should be plenty long enough. You shouldn't have to go more than that. It's just silly. But let's keep riding. I'm gonna try to go down this road. I have no clue where it goes. If I get lost, I'll turn around. Who is that over there? I don't know. Goes 15 miles an hour like a champion. Pretty views. It's the best part of biking. Just being out here all alone, nice and peaceful. Enjoying the views, not pedaling, going up hills. 14 miles an hour. This thing is pretty heavy though. For the Vector Light, it is not light. And the front end is a little all over the place when you're riding one-handed with the camera. I noticed they hit a pothole that was had a pucker. Tape over the keyhole. The battery's so big it doesn't fit in there. There's no room for it. This thing's a little dangerous one-handed. I think the way it's set up right now, the Genesis rides a little better than this thing. Hoping to fix that with a couple changes, maybe with a fork, or maybe with a shock. We'll see. About 11 miles into the ride, and just absolutely beautiful scenery, so I had to stop.